Lads, excellent, and I mean excellent news for the Indiana Fever.
It looks like we got some interesting news. Caitlin Clark was back at practice today.
I think Caitlin Clark in practice clothes right there kind of provided some folks with some hope. It's like, okay. Maybe she's about to come back, right?
The WNBA have said her estimated return date is the 12th of August. I think that's probably a fair estimate.
Is she closer to a return than we
Hold on to your seats, because the news we've all been waiting for is finally here, and it's even better than anyone imagined. Caitlin Clark is back at Indiana Fever practice, and she's not just participating. She's looking absolutely incredible out there. We're talking full workout gear, moving at what looks like nearly full speed, and running through drills like she never left the court. The footage that dropped earlier today has Fever fans buzzing with excitement and hope. This isn't just any practice appearance. This is Caitlin Clark showing up ready to dominate the WNBA once again. After weeks of uncertainty, medical evaluations, and nail-biting anticipation over her groin injury, Clark stepped onto that practice floor wearing shorts, looking every bit the superstar we all know and love.
She was there at practice as the Indiana Fever gear up to beat the gum on the bottom of the shoe Chicago Sky tomorrow. I plan on beating them by 30.
Caitlin Clark is in gear. She is in gear at practice. Lads, that is super duper important. That is a big sign when it comes to Caitlin Clark. So she's out 3.5 weeks for what is an injury that you can probably come back from after a week. Like a not even groin strain, like a 0 grade, like a grade 0 groin strain, a little bit of pain in my groin. Like that is an injury you can come back from after a week. That's an injury you can play on probably.
The way she's moving, shooting, and connecting with her teammates has basketball analysts calling this some of the most encouraging injury return footage they've ever seen from a pro athlete. If you're as hyped as we are about Clark's incredible comeback, drop a Clark's back in the comments, because this practice footage changes everything for Indiana Fever's championship hopes. This isn't just a player returning from injury. It's the start of what could be the most dominant second half of a WNBA season in recent memory. And the timing couldn't be more perfect, with the Fever sitting at 13-12 and in desperate need of their superstar to lead a serious playoff push.
As long as the Indiana Fever can thread water up until the 10th of August, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. Like the Indiana Fever are 13-12 right now. To make the playoffs, you probably need to be... You need 20, I would say 20 wins gets you into the playoffs. There's 8 teams in a 13-team league. 20 and 24 should statistically get you into the playoffs.
In about 2 weeks, they'll be around 10 games out of a playoff run, and there's speculation that maybe she's going to take the time off, take a look at where the team is at for the playoffs, maybe in a week or two, and then make a determination. I mean, look, if something happens, and I mean, God forbid, they lose 8 in a row and they're out of it. They're gone. Playoff hopes dashed, right? If that was to happen, then there ain't no point of her coming back.
So I would say she's going to ramp up and play a bit of 5v5 by maybe the 1st of August. And then it's going to be probably maybe another week. So they then play on Sunday against the Storm. I don't think she plays that one. They play Tuesday the 6th against the Sparks. It's an away game at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I don't see her playing that. I don't see her playing an away at 10 p.m. Eastern time game against the Mercury. I think her first game back is probably going to be either the 9th of August against the Sky or the 12th of August against the Wings. That would be my prediction. So, like, what's that? That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today.
Let's stop playing games, Stephanie White. I hope you're not going to try to use these late season additions, the Ari McDonald's, the Chloe Bibbies, Caitlin Clark's injury. I hope you're not going to try to use this as an excuse for you not to make the playoffs. You need to make the playoffs, period. I don't want to hear none of these excuses.
But based on what we're seeing in practice, Clark isn't just coming back. She's returning to dominate and remind the world why she's the most electrifying player in basketball. The energy around this footage is unlike anything we've seen all season, and for good reason. This could be the turning point for Indiana's championship hopes. Let's be honest, this injury saga was terrifying. Clark had never missed a game due to injury in her entire basketball career, not a single one in 4 years at Iowa or during her stellar rookie WNBA season. Suddenly, multiple setbacks had fans genuinely worried about her long-term health and what it meant for her future.
181, that's a lot of games, no injuries. Then, she missed some preseason games with what was announced as left leg tightness. Then she missed 5 regular season games with what was announced as left quad strain. Then she missed 5 more regular season games with what was announced as left groin. Now she has missed the last 2 games, regular season games, along with the 3-point shootout in the All-Star game in her house, Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, where she was reduced to being, of course, a coach/cheerleader. She's missed all that with what was announced as a right groin.
What started as a seemingly minor groin issue quickly spiraled into a major concern for Caitlin Clark. Setbacks and rain injuries forced her to miss crucial games, including the WNBA All-Star Game, where she was the top fan vote-getter, underscoring just how seriously the medical staff treated her condition. Multiple evaluations and a lack of a clear return timetable left fans and analysts questioning whether this could become a career-altering situation. Clark had already battled a left quad injury earlier this season, followed by a left groin issue, and now this right groin strain that sidelined her for weeks. For a player whose game depends on explosive cuts and dynamic athleticism, any groin injury is especially alarming.
The Fever actually, as you probably know, won the Commissioner's Cup championship game without Caitlin Clark. So the leading vote getter in the All-Star game is, cold hard truth, having a terrible season so far. In fact, it has been so bad that sometimes I've wondered if maybe she took a few games off just to give herself a much-needed mental break.
Yeah, I think when the injury happened, it was pretty frustrating considering I knew what the coming days were going to hold for myself. But I feel like dealing with that and then also just trying to look at it in the most positive manner that I can and being a part of this, and that wasn't going to be taken away from me.
Do I think Caitlin Clark should take it as handy as possible? Of course. Take it as handy as possible. Go as slow as possible. Go at whatever speed you feel comfortable at, Caitlin. Take as much time as you need. Take more time than you need.
The thorough medical evaluations confirming no additional injuries were a relief, but the fact that such extensive testing was necessary highlights just how serious and delicate Caitlin Clark's situation had become. Indiana's medical staff took an understandably cautious approach, prioritizing Clark's long-term health over rushing her back for short-term gains. That carefulness was the right call medically, but it meant every day waiting felt like an eternity for Fever fans desperate to see their star return. Beyond the physical, the psychological toll on Clark has been significant. This was uncharted territory for a player who had never faced such a lengthy setback before. The frustration was palpable, captured in the heartbreaking moment against Connecticut when Clark, sidelined and overwhelmed, covered her head with a towel on the bench, fully aware this injury was yet another obstacle just as she was regaining her rhythm. This uncertainty cast a long shadow over the Fever season, with every update scrutinized by fans hungry for any sign of hope about their franchise player's comeback.
I've gone back and watched the play on which she, according to the team, pulled her right groin. That came with 39 seconds left against Connecticut up in the Boston Celtics house. And the play just looks so routine to my eyes. There's no awkward slip or fall. She makes a sweet little feed to Kelsey Mitchell, breaking free down the baseline for a layup. No doubt Caitlin's the best passer in the W. But as she turns to trot back up court, she grabs her right groin. Then she goes and lightly bangs her head against the far stanchion in frustration. Then she goes to the bench and covers her head with a towel in abject frustration.
I'm not going to say I've just been getting around the clock treatment. I've been still trying to enjoy this weekend and having a balance of that at the same time and soaking all of this in. And, once tomorrow comes around, we'll completely shift my focus to getting as healthy as possible. And Monkey hair wounds from the lose. Yeah, whatever. Just prioritizing that.
But all I know for sure about the WNBA is that it had better get Caitlin Clark physically and mentally healthy or risk sliding right back off the national map.
Caitlin Clark's comeback. Practice footage sparks excitement and hope for Fever fans. The latest practice footage of Caitlin Clark has everyone buzzing, and for good reason. Clark isn't just back on the court. She's moving with a fluidity, confidence, and explosiveness that fans have been craving to see since her groin injury sidelined her. Dressed in full workout gear, actively participating in live drills, and showing zero hesitation or favoring of either leg, she looks like she's on the verge of a full return. Her shooting form is as pristine as ever, smooth release, perfect mechanics, confirming that her muscle memory remains intact despite the time off. Off the court, her energy, communication, and laughter with teammates suggest she's mentally ready to jump back into competition. Coach Stephanie White's cautious but optimistic remarks reflect the smart, day-by-day medical monitoring that has shaped Clark's rehab. This practice marks her first live action since the injury, a huge milestone signaling she's passed a major hurdle. The Fever organization has shown tremendous patience and professionalism, prioritizing Clark's long-term health over rushing her back. The collaboration between her personal medical team and the Fever staff has ensured a thorough, multi-angle recovery approach, minimizing the risk of re-injury and maximizing the chance for a sustainable comeback. Meanwhile, Indiana's roster has proven its depth and resilience. Players like Sophie Cunningham, shooting an incredible 58% from three recently, Kelsey Mitchell, Natasha Howard, and Aaliyah Boston have stepped up impressively, keeping the Fever competitive with a solid 13-12 record despite Clark's absence. Coach White's smart rotation management and the emergence of players like Ari McDonald add to the team's versatility and toughness. Looking ahead, a potential return date around August 9th or 12th is on the horizon, aligning well with a favorable schedule that could let Clark shake off any rust against manageable opponents before playoff battles heat up. Encouragingly, Clark herself prefers no-minute restrictions, signaling her confidence and readiness to contribute fully from Game 1 back. The addition of Chloe BBY on a 7-day contract adds valuable depth and spacing, indicating the Fever front office's commitment to maximizing this championship window. In short, Fever fans have plenty to be optimistic about. A deep, talented team growing stronger every day, and a superstar on the brink of reclaiming her throne to lead them back to glory.